A hug is often seen as a simple gesture, but in reality, it carries a lot of emotional information. It can reflect comfort, trust, hesitation, or even a deeper sense of connection. Many people leave a hug unsure about what it meant, replaying the moment in their mind and wondering if they misunderstood it. This confusion is more common than most admit, because human connection is rarely communicated through words alone. It often shows up in small physical moments, timing, and the way two people respond to each other's presence. From a well-being perspective, these short moments of closeness can influence emotional state more than we realize. A calm, respectful hug can help reduce stress and create a sense of safety. But what happens after the hug is just as important as the hug itself. The brain naturally tries to interpret meaning from silence, body language, and distance. When the moment ends too quickly or becomes awkward, it can interrupt that sense of emotional balance and leave both people unsure of what they experienced. One of the most common mistakes people make is overthinking the situation immediately after the hug ends. Instead of staying present, they rush to fill the space with unnecessary words or movements. This can break the natural emotional flow that was just created. On the other hand, staying grounded for a brief moment allows the interaction to settle naturally. A relaxed posture, steady breathing, and calm eye contact can help maintain a sense of ease without forcing anything. It's also important to understand that comfort is not the same as emotional pressure or expectation. Comfort simply means the nervous system feels safe enough to stay open. When people recognize this, they stop trying to control the moment and instead allow it to unfold naturally. This approach supports healthier communication, reduces anxiety in social interactions, and helps build more authentic connections over time. In many situations, the real meaning of a hug is not found in the physical contact itself, but in the transition that follows. How two people separate, how they look at each other, and how they continue the interaction all contribute to the emotional message. Learning to stay calm and present in these moments can improve not only social confidence, but also emotional awareness in everyday life. When two people share a brief moment of closeness like a hug, the nervous system often continues processing it long after the physical contact ends. This is because human connection is not only social, it is also biological. The body releases subtle neurochemicals that influence calmness, trust, and emotional openness. That is why even a short interaction can feel meaningful, especially if it happens in a respectful and relaxed environment. However, the way people behave immediately after that moment can either support emotional stability or disrupt it. If someone suddenly becomes tense, overly talkative, or distracted, it can signal uncertainty. The nervous system of the other person may then mirror that shift, creating a sense of emotional imbalance. On the other hand, when someone remains calm and grounded, it helps the interaction settle in a more natural way, allowing both individuals to feel secure in the experience they just shared. There are different qualities of hugs, and each one carries its own emotional tone. Some are brief and polite, often used in social settings where comfort is still being established. Others are more firm and relaxed, suggesting familiarity and ease between two people. In some cases, a hug may last a little longer without either person pulling away quickly, which often reflects a moment of emotional safety or mutual comfort. None of these should be rushed or overanalyzed in isolation because context always matters more than a single gesture. A healthy way to approach these moments is to focus on internal awareness rather than external interpretation. Instead of asking, "What did it mean?" it can be more helpful to notice how your body felt during the interaction. Did your breathing slow down or become shallow? Did you feel relaxed or tense? Did your mind become quiet or start racing? These internal signals often provide more accurate information about emotional well-being than trying to decode the other person's behavior. Another important aspect is how transitions affect emotional clarity. When a hug ends, there is a brief shift from physical closeness to personal space. This transition can feel subtle, but it plays a key role in how the experience is remembered. If the transition is rushed, the mind may register it as incomplete or uncertain. If it is calm and unforced, the experience is more likely to be remembered as positive and stable. It is also worth understanding that not every moment of closeness needs to lead to something more. Sometimes the purpose of a hug is simply comfort, reassurance, or human connection in its simplest form. When people release the pressure of interpreting every gesture as a signal, they often experience less anxiety and more genuine presence in their interactions. This shift alone can significantly improve emotional health and reduce social stress. When we step back from a moment of closeness, what truly stays with us is not the exact position of our bodies, but the emotional impression it leaves behind. The mind naturally stores experiences based on feeling rather than detail. That is why a simple, calm interaction can sometimes feel more meaningful than something more intense but confusing. Emotional clarity comes from stability, not intensity. In healthy social interaction, the end of a moment is just as important as the beginning. When a shared experience like a hug concludes in a calm and respectful way, it allows the nervous system to return to balance without stress. This is important for emotional well-being because abrupt or confusing endings can leave the body in a heightened state of uncertainty. Over time, learning to transition smoothly out of close interactions can reduce anxiety and improve confidence in social situations. Another key understanding is that human connection grows best in environments where there is no pressure to interpret everything immediately. When people feel forced to analyze every gesture or reaction, they often lose the natural flow of communication. But when they allow moments to exist without judgment, they become more present, more aware, and more emotionally grounded. This presence itself is what makes interactions feel meaningful. It is also important to recognize that emotional impact is often shaped by consistency rather than a single moment. One hug or one interaction does not define a relationship or a connection. What matters more is the overall pattern of how people treat each other over time, whether they feel safe, respected, and understood in each other's presence. This broader perspective helps reduce overthinking and supports healthier emotional expectations. Ultimately, the most valuable skill in any form of human closeness is awareness. Being aware of your own emotional state, staying calm in transitions, and respecting the natural rhythm of interaction creates a strong foundation for healthy relationships. When you stop trying to force meaning and instead focus on presence, you begin to experience connections more clearly and with less confusion. A hug, like many human gestures, is not a puzzle to solve but a moment to experience. When approached with calmness and emotional balance, it becomes less about interpretation and more about genuine human connection.